goes. So that's me.
Screw school, screw what midterms, that's what they're called. Those are
Meet Snoop Dogg and you know where that's going. You know where that's leading to.
My spring break goes to live my best life.
What happens over spring break stays over spring break.
Amen. Life is funny. Life is a joke. It's okay.
I'm gonna do nothing. I'm not even gonna think about Airmark's terrible food.
Stay safe, spring breakers. It'll stick with ya.
This is my first time on SGTV.
Hey.
So I'm not sure what I'm doing for spring break. Most likely, go home, be boring. My friends got together like, hey, let's go to Los Angeles. It's gonna cost you about $600. We might have a place to stay because my uncle's friend's wife's cousin maybe is gonna hook us up. And I'm like, I've never vacationed anywhere further than South Carolina. So, and you want me to go to Los Angeles? And they're like, yeah, that sounds like fun, doesn't it? And I'm just like, on $600 and I live on ramen. And they're just like, yeah, wanna come? And I'm just like, let me think about it.
Going home to Greenville, and I'm going to play with my little sister, and I'm gonna teach her how to play soccer indoors to mess with my parents. Probably gonna play with my dogs. That's it.
I have no idea. So I'm either going to Florida to go hang out with my best friend Maya, shout out to her, or I might go to Augusta, Georgia, or Savannah, Georgia for St. Patty's to go drink responsibly. You know, Mom's watching this. To drink responsibly with my friends. So those are probably my two options, or go home and get my teeth pulled. So that's also a good thing.
For spring break this year, I'm going to Miami for 4 days. I think we're going to go to this place called Sugar Factory. I think it's like cool drinks and stuff. So I think we're going to do that and then lay out on the beach. So I think that would be fun.
Well, I'll be going to the beach with my family. You know, I'll be soaking in the sun, trying to convince my family that I'll be going out to swim when everybody knows I will not be going out to swim. Hopefully, I'll be able to show off the entire, 3 days of exercise I do every year. You know. Well, my arm just rejected me too, so it's not gonna happen. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm actually going home for spring break. I tried to go to Florida, but then I thought of all the expenses and I was like, nah. So, your homegirl's going back home to Cali. You know, so get some nice beach pics.
Cali girl.
It'll look like I'm going on spring break because nobody knows where I'm from really, so I'll be like, yeah, I went to Cali, no biggie, it's fine. You know.
Go home to Maryland, where it's still pretty cold, so that's depressing. But I'm with my family, with my dog, and I won't have work. Also, I won't have Russell House food. Y'all know how bad Russell House food is? It sucks. Russell House food is created by the devil. Aramark, I'm sorry, Aramark. Y'all need to quit the college food, cafeteria dining business, whatever the hell you're in, because you're terrible. I'm going home. I'm blessed by the Lord for life and, SGTV and love and happiness. But not having to eat Aramark's food for a whole week is such a bigger blessing than any of those things I just mentioned. So Aramark, you suck. Spring break, you're awesome. Yeah, that's it.
For spring break, the first thing that I'm doing is just going back to the lovely state of Maryland, which is pretty boring. But I'm gonna go home for a weekend. Hang out with my family for a little bit because I haven't seen them since January. But then once the week rolls around and my family gets busy and I don't want to sit at home all alone, bored out of my mind, I'm taking a mega bus up to New York City and I'm visiting a friend that goes to Fordham University. I'm just gonna live that New York City lifestyle for as long as I can stretch it out, as long as my parents will let me stay there.
I'm going home to Greenville. And then my girlfriend's turning 21, so I'm going to Kennesaw, Georgia, and we're going to celebrate there.
It was a while ago, I can't remember how old I was, but I remember I was naive and dumb. Do you guys remember the 2012 scandal, when people thought the world was going to end in 2012? So, one guy made that up. One dumb, I don't want to cuss. Some guy somewhere just said that was, and my brother John told me that all scientists believe that, and I believed him. So for a whole week, I thought the world was going to end in 2012. I was so dumb. Oh my gosh! I believe that sincerely, and I remember being so depressed and like waking up just being like, man, 2012, I'm gonna be 15. I won't even be old enough to drive and the world's gonna end. Ugh! And I was so pissed. And my parents had to be like, no, you're just dumb. It's not every scientist. It's just one guy. And to this day, I'm so pissed about that. That was my worst spring break ever. And I don't have a lot of great spring breaks. So what does that say about me?
My worst spring break memory. I mean, I don't usually do things over spring break, but I do remember in 7th grade, I was dating this guy, and he was like my first like official boyfriend. And I don't know, it was like the very beginning of spring break, everything was good. And then he just stopped talking to me, and I was like, whoa, this is really weird, because he was really into me. And then, like, I went to, like, stalk his Facebook, and I saw he was talking to a girl. So I, like, DM'd the girl. I was like, what's up? And she was like, we've been talking for, like, ever. I was like, all right, that's fine. And so I broke up with him. But then I found out the girl was a catfish. So, like, I wasn't that mad because he looked like an idiot. I didn't really like him anyways. I was just dating him to make someone else jealous. So, like, the joke is really on him. That was me in middle school. I was a savage little kid.
I don't think I have one. I never do anything during spring break. Literally, I will sit at home and babysit. Like, I think that's that's my worst memory every single year of spring break is I literally sit at home, babysit my 2 siblings, and watch TV. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll literally be on Tumblr all day or watching TV, babysitting my siblings my little sister who has like the biggest attitude on face of the planet, but I love her so much.
So I would probably say the embarrassing spring break memory was like last spring break, me and my friends went to Myrtle Beach, and we were playing with these guys like football. So I don't know why I decided to play football with guys. And so I went to go catch the ball, and I took off running, and I like face planted in the sand in front of everybody. So everyone was just looking at me like, how did I fall? So I feel like I always embarrass myself for that. So that's embarrassing.
Well, there was one spring break where I couldn't do anything because I had to stay home and get my wisdom teeth removed. So I basically spent the entire week numb and miserable, and I just like wanted to kill everybody run around me, but thankfully I didn't.
Okay. So we went to Santa Cruz, like my whole family, and I don't know what I was thinking about. I was like, I'm gonna go on a jog. It's really pretty outside, and I never go on jogs, but I went on a jog, and this is why you should never go on jogs, because I stopped on this like cliff type of thing that was like close to the ocean, and I was like, oh, let me just sit here, like the little breeze. I was getting like some splashes. It was like nice. I don't know what happened, but this wave came out of nowhere and knocked me off my little rock I was sitting on. And I kind of almost died that spring break, but I didn't, so it's okay. But, moral of the story, never go on a jog. It's not my thing. Don't do it. It just ends badly, so.
I don't remember any of my spring breaks in the past. Not because I was drunk, but, because I don't drink. I'm a really good student. But because, honestly, nothing notable has happened yet in my life during spring break. But this okay. That's what summer's for. Summer's for the good memories.
Last year, I studied abroad, and we did spring break in Croatia, but I broke up with the person I was dating right before spring break. And then everybody I studied abroad with was like, oh, let's go to the Museum of Broken Relationships, where people send stuff of, like, past relationships and are like, screw all my exes. And so I was just sitting in a museum, like, crying. And all these foreign people were like, what is this weird American girl doing crying in the middle of this museum? And so I just cried most of the time. That was my worst spring break.
Craziest! I do not remember. Most of my spring breaks are not that cool. I go home, I'm with my family. I'm gonna say my craziest spring break, I went to Paramount Carowinds. And when you were a kid, that was the best. Because I never went to an amusement park when I was a kid. But like we had time because it was during the weekday and there's nobody there. So that would be the craziest. But I've never had like a crazy Cancun, I passed out and woke up 3 countries away kind of story. Not yet, at least.
It like might get me into trouble like talking about it, but I was a heathen child, still kind of am. But me and my friends, we were adventurous, And so we used to go and play in the woods. And there's like a little trail that we used to go to, and it led to like this weird like park was near a graveyard, and we used to like go play basketball. And it just started downpouring because like summertime when it used to be just random downpours. So we were like, we need shelter. And so we kind of looked around and we found an abandoned church. We might have broken into the church, might not have. I mean, for like legal purposes, I'm not gonna say I was necessarily there. And then we like searched around and we found like a black Jesus in the church. It was really cool. Yeah. That
As
was the
opposed
wildest
to
one.
Korean Jesus?
Yeah, no, like black Jesus, like Wakanda forever.
I heard about someone that got kidnapped, someone that I know in Florida. Don't know how they got that, but they got kidnapped and by somebody they know, and they were kind of just stuck there for like, I want to say a week after spring break, and they couldn't come back. And when they did come back, they were just like, yes, I got kidnapped, and they just said so nonchalant, and I'm like, what? So did you call the police? They're like, no, I was okay, like they got me food. I'm like, oh. But you got no police or nothing? They were like, no. I was like, okay, I guess that's okay.
One spring break, I went to the pool with my, he's not now my ex-uncle, but he was my uncle. Like when I wasn't looking, like he threw me into the pool, and like I was certain, like I was certain I was dying, like I was drowning, like I was choking up water and everything, like I was like so sure that I was gonna die. And then like they started screaming at me, just stand up, because I was only in like 4 feet of water, and like I ended up standing up and I was alive. And yeah, that wasn't something I did, but that was definitely the craziest memory I have.
My senior year of high school, like I said, like my parents weren't gonna do anything with me, so we weren't doing like family, like spring break trip like a lot of people do. So me and a few of my friends, we were like, you know what, like let's just get some money together. Like we all had jobs, and we rented a house in this like disgusting like beach near like my hometown. It's called Ocean City, Maryland, but we call it Ocean Shitty, Maryland. And then we get there and like it rained the whole time. So like we were just trapped in this like little house all together. It didn't go as planned, but it was still crazy and all fun.
We decided to go to the abandoned like Olympic sites in Bosnia, and so there was this like Olympic ski jump site, and it was super abandoned. There was like no safety whatsoever, and we climbed like 10 stories up to the top of it, and then I really wanted to slide down, but I would have died, so I didn't do that.
Like if I had like enough money and nobody would judge me, I'd want to have like a cruise, except in a blimp. So it's a sky cruise. And you would just go from like the craziest towns. You would go to New Orleans, and then to New Vegas, and then back to New Orleans because it was so awesome. And then to Cancun, because why not? And then back to New Orleans because it's that awesome. You go 3 times. And then you would stop in like Florida just to chill out for a day. Bahamas, New Orleans again, and then home again.